You are watching a master at work.
Welcome welcome all to the Lupe experience, and this is a video I have been waiting to shoot for a long time. You can look at it as a light-hearted guide to make your fragrance journey smooth so you can get to fragrance heaven. This is the 10 commandments of fragrances. If you break any of these commandments, you will go to fragrance hell. Okay? Don't take this too serious, guys. It's just a fun thing I put together, a little bit of a guide. If you follow these, it will enrich your fragrance life. You'll have beautiful fragrance karma and have a wonderful fragrance journey. If you break any of these commandments, you're going to fragrance hell. Okay? So let's kick it off with commandment number 1. Commandment number 1, thou shalt love thy fragrance with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. If you have a fragrance in your possession, make sure you give it all the attention it deserves. Make sure you care for it. Make sure you store it well. Make sure you wear it. Don't just have a fragrance sitting idle, doing nothing in your collection. I've had fragrances that I haven't worn in a while. You know what I do? I give them to people that I care for. I sell them off. I swap them for something I love. If you have a fragrance, you must love it. There are too many people out there who don't smell as incredible as you do, as fantastic as you do. And so that fragrance that you have, show that fragrance love. If you don't show it love, you're going to fragrance hell. Commandment number 2. Thou shalt not steal thy neighbor's signature fragrance. And what do I mean by these? I'm talking to you guys out there, you ladies out there, who smell something incredible on someone. It's their signature scent. They're known for this fragrance. And then you go out and you buy that exact fragrance and you start wearing it. You have ruined the uniqueness of the fragrance for the person. This has happened to me several times, and it's gotten to the point where I've had to go purchase another fragrance so I can get something unique and get something that is mine. I love to spread fragrance cheer, fragrance joy, smelling good, but at the same time, it's a little bit unfair for you to steal that deeply personal, beautiful signature scent from someone else. So if you find someone wearing a fragrance that you love so much, yes, you can smell that way, but do the best that you can to leave it to them. While you smell incredible, I am going to find my own personal signature fragrance. Okay, so stop stealing other people's signature fragrances. Go get your own, okay, or else you're going to fragrance hell. Commandment number 3, thou shalt wear a lighter, fresher fragrance in the daytime and warmer seasons, and a richer, denser, more dramatic fragrance in the nighttime and cold seasons. Now this is more of a guide. This is a commandment that is a little bit bendable, a little bit flexible. You can break it from time to time, but it is a general guide. A lighter, fresher, like citrus, floral, transparent fragrance is really good for those really hot seasons when it's humid. You need something cooling. You need something transparent. You do not want a blanket that's going to choke you out. And it's really nice for daytime occasions where things are a little bit less dramatic, a little bit less dressed up, a little bit less glamorous. But once the sun goes down and once we get those cold winter seasons, you need something a little bit more dramatic, something heavier, something that will cut through the cold. And this is a really good guide because I see a lot of people waste their fragrances by trying to break this. If you wear a fragrance that is too heavy in the summertime, it will absolutely disintegrate the composition. Wearing Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille in 100-degree weather makes it too loud, too heavy. You will not enjoy it. People around you will not enjoy smelling you. You're ruining the experience. Something lighter and fresher, a citrus fragrance, would do the job a lot better. It will cool you down. It will have that effect on you. It will be light. The heat will actually pronounce that fragrance and it will do well. In the same fashion, I have a friend who has tried to wear CK1 in the wintertime and he's complained that, oh my goodness, I can't smell myself. It's because you're wearing something light in the winter. The cold affects the fragrance. It doesn't project as much as it should. And also, people whose nerves are cold in their noses just aren't able to detect the fragrance. So you're actually wasting the fragrance. Wear something a little bit richer. Also at nighttime when you're a little bit more dressed up, a little bit flashier, you want to state your presence a little bit more with a bolder, more dressed up fragrance. So this is a really good guide that will enrich your fragrance life. Commandment number 4. Thou shalt not be sexist with thine fragrance. And what do I mean by this? Stop subscribing to the mass marketed notion that fragrance actually has gender. I've never seen an orange with testicles or a vagina. I have never seen a rose with gender parts either. Smell a fragrance and see if it works for you. I wear a lot of rose-based fragrances and boy, do they smell incredible on me. I love the way I smell. People love the way that I smell. I've worn powdery fragrances. I have powdery fragrances in my collection. I have fragrances that are woody and strong. I know girls that wear Tom Ford's Tuscan leather. I know men that wear Tom Ford's Lisfoon, who wear Love by Killian, and they all wear it very well. So, do not be sexist with your fragrance, okay? Smell it. Let your nose be your guide is what I always say. Let your nose tell you whether it suits your personality and suits, your aura, or if it doesn't. Commandment number 5. This is a very fun one. Thou shalt not rub it in, okay? This is more of a guide, but I assure you, you will get the best full use and the intended effects by the perfumer of your fragrance if you do not work it in with heat. If you want to spread your fragrance around, what you can do is you can spray and you can dab. But do not start to build a little fire on your arms and all over your body by rubbing it in. What you're doing is you're working heat into the composition, and rather than letting room temperature and your body temperature, displace the top, mid, and base notes in the order and the fashion that they're intended to vaporize, you're mixing it all in, and the heat is driving all the notes in a very, very convoluted and unintended fashion, and a lot of times it will not smell like it is supposed to smell. So spray and let it evaporate and waft, and you will smell well. If you rub it in, you're going to fragrance hell. Commandment number 6. Thou shalt share thine fragrance and thy love of fragrance with thine friends, family, and the world. As I always say, family that sprays together stays together. And this goes out to all the selfish people out there. You have hundreds of fragrances. You want everybody to buy you more fragrance. You want to acquire so much more. You have found this wonderful joy of smelling good. You know the power that it has. You know how it enriches your life and just adds so much more to your daily experiences. Why don't you share this love with other people? I always tell the people around me, my brothers, my sisters, my family, my really good friends, my girlfriend, my wonderful, amazing girlfriend, you will never lack of smelling good. You will always be the best smelling people around. And that is because I have found this passion and I'm sharing it with other people. This is a huge reason why I do not hoard fragrances. If you have a fragrance in your collection that you're not seeing a lot of wear of, decant a little bit or just give it as a gift, to one of your family members, Make sure that, with the knowledge that you have about fragrances, from the advice that you get from, the Lupe experience, you buy your girlfriend an incredible fragrance that will just become something incredible in her life, that whenever she sprays, she would get incredible compliments, have an amazing experience, and always remember, wow, it was this person that gave it to me. It was my boyfriend that gave it to me. It was my girlfriend that gave it to me. It was my brother, my sister that gave it to me. So spread the love of fragrances. If you don't spread the love and you're selfish, you're going to fragrance hell. In the Bible, it talks of a temptation that Jesus had from the Pharisees, and they asked him what the most important commandment was. They thought that they were going to stymie him, and he came up with a perfect answer for them. And the equivalent of that in the 10 commandments of fragrances is this one. It is probably the most important commandment of all. It is that thou shalt wear fragrance for thyself first, and others, not second, maybe. And what this means is that you should be an individual. You should wear a fragrance that you love, not something that someone else loves, or not something that people say makes other people go crazy or give you compliments. If you do not like that smell, if you do not like it as much as another one, then that defeats the purpose and the joy of wearing fragrances. I have come to find in my fragrance journey that a fragrance that you love and you have so much passion for it, as unique and as off the wall and different as it is, it will probably get you more attention, more positive reinforcement, and more enjoyment from than a fragrance that you don't really like, but you're just wearing just for the attention. I have a fragrance discussion video, which I would link right here, in which you can see a full-length discussion on wearing fragrances for yourself and not worrying too much about what other people think. And at the end of the day, you will love the way you smell, and you will be showered in compliments because you're wearing it with confidence, you're wearing it with passion, and people will just absolutely love the fact that you are doing you. If you wear fragrances just for other people, you will go to fragrance hell. Now, I love this one. It's a very basic one, but it's one that people need so much advice, so much reminding. Thou shalt neither overspray nor underspray thine fragrance. You need to find that optimum perfect balance. Apply your fragrance with finesse. Apply your fragrance with a little bit of sophistication and complexity of thoughts. When you overspray a fragrance, there comes a point of diminishing returns where it begins to smell unlike it's intended to you, and where it begins to irritate people around you. There are many reasons why this is not good apart from those. One, people will see you as that guy. You're trying way, way, way too hard. You're going to ruin what is supposed to be a beautiful experience. And rather than getting compliments, you may get noticed, but it will be noticed for the wrong reasons. So spray enough where you are noticeable, yes, but do not spray so much where you're invading people's private personal space and where you're choking people out. Some people actually don't even like the smell of fragrances, and some people do not want to be forced to smell your fragrance. So apply with finesse. Also, do not underspray. I have a friend and he uses a Hugo Boss fragrance. I think it's Hugo Boss bottled. It must be bottled. And he sprays like one spray. He says he's scared of being smelled. He's Asian, so I guess it's a cultural thing. And to me, then why do you buy the fragrance? It's like a waste of money. No, you should not be an oversprayer, but at the same time, do not underspray to the point where even you yourself can't smell your fragrance. People will appreciate the fact that you are well groomed and you are taking the time to present yourself in the best light. It is a sign of respect, and it is a sign that you appreciate the people in whose presence you have found yourself. So do not underspray and do not overspray. Renee Zayas, I'm looking at you. Do not underspray. All right, do not overspray, or else you're going to fragrance hell. This is also a very important one, as are all these commandments. Thou shalt not believe that thine fragrance will get you the guy, the girl, the job, the attention, and everything in life. A fragrance is going to magnify your aura. It's going to do more for you. It's going to make you a more interesting person. It's going to show that there are more interesting, unique, mysterious things about you. But it's not going to completely wipe the slate clean and give you an absolutely new persona. If you do not take care of your grooming, if you don't take care of your cleanliness, if you're not dressed well, if your clothes don't fit right, don't look right, if the colors don't look good on you, if you're not charming, if you're not polite, if you're not intelligent, if you're not in good physical condition or in good health, you will not achieve the sort of results that people think that a fragrance is a magic potion for receiving. If you stink, if I'm dirty, I stink, I'm wearing a tattered shirt, huge baggy jeans and dirty shoes, and I go on a date with a lady and I'm impolite, I don't open the door for her, I don't, pay for the meal or offer to pay for the meal, I'm not an interesting person, I can wear the best fragrance in the world and it will most likely not go well. Okay, so do not think that fragrance is a cure for everything. Work on yourself. Fragrance enriches your life. It does not make your life. So the lady makes the fragrance or the man makes the fragrance. The fragrance does not make the man. Okay, have all your stuff together, then spray on the fragrance. It's just going to give you that little over the edge push. It's going to add to what you already have. It's not going to create something out of thin air. This is a very important one. If you break this fragrance commandment, you're going to fragrance hell. Last of all, we have a beautiful commandment, and to me, this is what really sums up the fragrance journey in maybe just a couple words. Thou shalt strive to smell unique. This journey is all about you. It's all about you finding that scent that is just you, that evokes those very personal emotions, brings back those very intimate memories, that puts you in that unique space, in that unique head space. If you see what I did there, that is so you and is so nobody else. When you buy a fragrance, don't buy a fragrance because it's common or because it's popular. Buy it because it is you. It's going to be your signature. That's why we talk about signature fragrances, because it is a signature. It should be unique as your thumbprint. Now, because the fragrance market is a mass marketed one, you're not going to go and find a fragrance that nobody in the entire world has. Maybe one or two people have your fragrance, and maybe you will smell it, a couple times, during the span of you having it. But that is enough uniqueness. I have fragrances that I know are quite popular, but in my circle and when I go out, where I'm around, I don't smell them on anyone, and that is good enough. So at least strive to be unique. Do not be a herd. Do not have a herd mentality when it comes to fragrances. The more unique the fragrance, the more bespoke it is, the more beautiful it is. Don't you just love it when someone's like, wow, you smell incredible. I've never smelled anything like that on anyone. And wherever they go, they'll never smell that, and they'll always remember, wow, that person smelled that way and like nobody else. I love that for myself. I love going into a room or meeting people and I'm not smelling like anyone else there. Whether you like the way I smell or you don't, is secondary to me, as long as I'm unique and I love the way I smell. So that's the beauty of fragrances, people. Love your fragrances. Make sure you smell unique. Have fun on this journey. It's a beautiful journey. There's so many wonderful smells out there. There's so many wonderful creations. Fragrances will absolutely enrich your life. Thank you very much for watching the Lupe Experience. You've been watching the Master at Work. Smell well. Cheers.